Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel where I talk about college tips, tricks, and information that I learned during my college experience and vlog my college experience as well. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that little notification bell so that way you could be updated when my newest content is released. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about scholarships and how to find them. Scholarships are grants and or payments that are made out to students based on their academic performance and or achievements. Achievements can be a variety of things. It could be the career that you want to get into. It could be your community involvement, things that you've done in your community in order to help the city or those around you. It could be based off your leadership skills. It could also be based off of your creativity. And there is so much more out there that you could find for scholarships. There's really so many out there. There's one of the important things that I do want to mention for those of you that may have not received a scholarship or have applied to a scholarship yet, most of them come out around the spring semester. I'm assuming that it comes out in the spring semester due based on a lot of students are graduating high school and or transferring from a community college to a university. So that's why I think that a lot of the scholarships are coming out during that time, is because a lot of students are getting ready for that next level. And honestly, university could be very expensive, so if you don't have the financial support, that's what these scholarships are for. So hopefully you guys are taking advantage of these. I'm not saying that in the fall semester you could expect to see no scholarships. There are scholarships that are out there, but there's really not that many from what I've noticed. There's really a limited amount that are out there, and there's really not too much to grab. So during the spring semester, I typically see a bunch of scholarships, and I apply to as many as I can, so that way I could get a few scholarships for myself as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So the first one I'm going to be talking about today is the general scholarship. Most of you may already know what the general scholarship is, and for those of you that may not know what the general scholarship is, the general scholarship is basically a scholarship that is created by the institution where you apply to this one scholarship, but you're actually applying to a bunch of other scholarships at the same time. So when you apply to this one scholarship, based on the statement that they gave you, you're able to hit many other scholarships based on what you said in that prompt. A lot of the times, the general scholarship that is placed out there, it asks you questions about your background, what career field you want to get into, and sometimes even what are the things that you've done in your community to make it a better place. These are the scholarships I really recommend to go for because this is specifically towards your institution, so you have a higher chance of getting it versus applying to scholarships that are online. Not saying that if you apply online you're not going to win, it's just that there are so many other people out there that are looking for scholarships. It's a little bit more challenging than if you were to apply at your institution. Because a lot of the time students don't know about it and or they don't want to apply because they feel like they're not going to get it, so they end up disqualifying themselves. That's where you come in and you take advantage of the opportunity and apply to those scholarships because you have a higher chance of winning. To find out if your institution actually has a general scholarship, you're going to want to go to the financial aid office and you're going to ask them, hey, do you guys have a general scholarship? If they do, you're going to want to ask for the deadline. If the deadline already passed, that's completely fine. Don't worry about it. Put it on your Google Calendar and remember next year or next semester that you're going to apply for that scholarship. And I know particularly right now with the virus that's currently happening, it's a little bit more challenging to go in person. Particularly in California, because all the California UC, CSU, and community college districts are actually closed for the fall semester. I'm not sure about anywhere else, but if you are in that situation where it's going to be all online, that's completely fine. You're going to want to go ahead and send the financial aid office or programs that you're participating in an email saying, hey, do you guys participate in the general scholarship? An important thing that I also want to highlight is I actually just graduated community college. Shout out to Mission College. I am going to San Jose State University. So one of the things that I did was that since I graduated Mission College, I applied for the general scholarship there. But in addition to that, I had a friend that told me about the San Jose State General Scholarship and told me to apply to that one as well. So if you are a transfer student, apply to both so that way you have a higher chance of winning more scholarships. And also for high school students, there are many scholarships out there available for you as well. Connect with your counselor so that way they could tell you about any local scholarships that are happening and or scholarships that are happening at your high school or in your community, which actually ties me into the next piece, which is local scholarships. Local scholarships are scholarships that are actually happening within your community, your city, or organizations that you're involved in. So to find out about these scholarships, you're going to want to go down to the city, kind of look at the bulletin and know what kind of scholarships are available, or ask somebody if they have any. Or you could go to different organizations. Let's say you go down to a youth center and you say, hey, do you guys have any scholarships that are available for us? You could ask them, and if they have some that are available, ask them if you could have a paper copy of it. And if they don't, ask them if they have a web address so that we could go look and see the scholarship online. The next section of scholarships that I want to talk about is online scholarships. Online scholarships is something that I actually personally haven't won yet. However, when I do, I'll make sure I update you guys. But there are a lot of online scholarships that are out there. There's a lot of websites out there that offer these scholarships so that way you could check them out. One of the first online search engines that I want to mention is FastWebs. One of the most common ones, where you go online, you create a profile, and it gives you a list of different scholarships that are available, where you're able to check them out and see if you're eligible to apply for them. And another application that I used as well was Scholly. Some of you may know what Scholly is, but for those of you that don't, it's an online application that you particularly use for your mobile phone. You pretty much create a profile, everything is super specific to your background, your experiences, your career goals, some of the things that you've done, and it basically generates all the scholarships that are online and tells you, hey, these scholarships you can apply for. And Scholly will give you a rating of how high you have a chance of winning that scholarship from a 1 to a 10. The only bummer part about Scholly is that you have to pay a monthly or annual payment. I personally actually bought the annual one, and I've actually used it. I've applied to so many scholarships. I'm still waiting to hear back from some of them, but the minute that I do hear back from it, I'll let you guys know how it is. And maybe in the future, I'll create a video on how to use Scholly and how to maximize your scholarship opportunities on there. Another scholarship search engine that I recommend as well is Cappex. Cappex is similar to FastWebs, where you create an account and it gives you eligible scholarships that you may be potentially able to apply for. Now, so far we've just covered the general scholarship, local scholarships, and online scholarships with a couple of apps that I recommend. If you guys are enjoying this video, make sure you hit that like button, because I'm going to be sharing a couple of tips that I've learned out of curiosity on my own that you may find beneficial. On Instagram, I go to the hashtag scholarships 2020. I go to the recent tab so that way I can see the most recent scholarships that are available, because sometimes some institutions or some programs will post up online scholarships that are available to many students. This way you have an idea of what scholarships recently came out and which ones you could actually apply to. You could also just look up the hashtag scholarships. It's a little bit more dense on there, but that's why I put in the 2020, so that way I get an idea of what's the most recent and up-to-date scholarships that are out there. Another tip I recommend, which I accidentally ran into a couple of years ago, was I was in the library, and for some reason I just get really geeked out on books. I love seeing like the different types of books, and one day I accidentally ran into a scholarship book. Like every single scholarship that was available was in that book for that year. And you guys, that scholarship book is huge. You could go through that book and you'll find a bunch of different scholarships. If you find a couple that match you, you could go ahead and write that down and then kind of keep them in a journal, so that way later you could go ahead and apply to them. Again, these scholarship books are actually located in your local library, and hopefully they have them for you, because that is like a really great resource to have. Another thing I recommend to do, like for example, I'm Latino. Sometimes I'll go online on Google and I'll type Latino scholarships. I found the Hispanic Fund Foundation. I found out about the scholarship. Unfortunately, the deadline had already passed, but if you use specific keywords that identify you or things that you have done, you can find a lot of scholarships that way as well using Google. Also, I want to mention that there's some scholarships out there that are specifically geared to certain people. I still recommend to apply, because you never know. Sometimes nobody will apply to that scholarship, and guess what? You applied to it and now you got the scholarship. And another tip that I do want to recommend as well is, even though you don't win this time, you could always apply again next year. Some scholarships even allow you to apply more than once, so you could actually apply, win a scholarship, and then you could apply again and win another one. Some scholarships specifically say, you know, it's only a one-time winner, but if you're able to go again, just keep applying, do it. More power to you. Alright, you guys, so this brings us to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you haven't had the opportunity yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell, so that way you could be notified when my newest content is released. Also, hit that like button, and if you've seen something that I haven't mentioned in the video, make sure you leave that comment down below that may be beneficial to you, because if I didn't mention it, maybe somebody else could benefit from it, and I'll pin you to the top of the feed. Also, make sure to follow my social media handles, so that way you guys can see my stories. Sometimes I'll ask questions on videos that you guys want to have, and sometimes I give shout outs and giveaways. So you don't want to miss those opportunities. So thank you guys so much again, and have a wonderful day.